I got a question by way of text late last night, and basically the text just said, I'd really like to talk to you more about some of the houses that you've got for sale, and I'm just wondering, what's the earliest I can talk to you tomorrow? And I just happened to be still awake. It was pretty late. I think it's 10:30 or 11. But anyway, I caught the text, and I just shot it back, and I said, you can call me anytime after 8:30. Don't worry about it, and I gave him my cell phone number. So anyway, sure enough, early this morning, must have been sometime around that 8:30 o'clock time frame. But anyway, I got a call from a guy, and he said, he says, can you just tell me what it takes to buy one of the homes that you've got advertised on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace? He said, I'd really like to know what it takes to get into a home like that. And so anyway, I told him, sure, I'd be glad to, and asked him if he had a few minutes to talk now or if he wanted to call back a little bit later. And he said, no, he had some time now. So I've probably spent somewhere in the neighborhood of 15, 20 minutes talking to him to kind of tell him everything that it boils down to. But, to make a long story short, I need to know more about your situation, your income, how long you've been on your job, what kind of money you make, whether or not your job is pretty secure, what kind of credit you have in the way of accounts. Do you have credit cards, car payments, student loans, anything like that? What do you have that you're paying on a monthly basis? Do you know what your credit scores are? If you do think you know what your credit scores are, do you know them by way of something like Credit Karma, or do you actually have an idea what your mortgage credit scores are? And things like that. What kind of payment fits your budget? What kind of money do you have for down payment? There's just so many things that you need to know whenever you're trying to help somebody determine their loan options. But anyway, we spent some time doing all those things, and you could tell he was very interested and was really wanting to buy a house. He was a younger guy. I think he said he was 28, and he said that he's been renting now for 7 or 8 years, and he thinks it's time he started thinking about his future, not only for himself, but for his family. So anyway, as I said, spoke to him, and I said, about the only way we can do this as far as the next step goes is see what your true mortgage credit scores are. And he wanted to proceed with that because he said his lease was up in a couple months, and he really didn't want to renew his lease again. He really would like to buy a house. So I got his information, as I was saying a little bit ago, job history, work history, credit, all that good stuff. And I got the information that I needed to run his credit report. So anyway, after that length of time, I just told him I'd give him a shout back. And so I turned all that in yesterday, and then this morning I got it back. And basically what it boiled down to is his credit scores were just a little bit low. He probably cannot qualify for down payment assistance at this time, but his score's not that far off, and with making a few minor adjustments on his credit card balances, it's entirely possible we could have him in the house in the next 60 to 90 days. So if you're thinking about buying a home and you want to know what it's going to take, sometimes first thing that it takes is just making a phone call. Give us a call and let us know what your situation is. I'll give you the best information I can based on the details that you can give me. And then if you don't know your credit score, or you're thinking there may be a few glitches on there that need to be taken care of, then I'll need to run your credit report so we can see actually what we're dealing with and what kind of advice we can give you on your credit. And the other thing we always do is get your information to set up your home search, because it's important that if you're going to be out there looking at homes, let's look at homes that fit your price range and your budget. Anyway, I hope that gives you some good information. If you're thinking about buying a home and you're pretty serious and you would really like to buy a home, whether it's 2 months down the road or even 6 to 9 months down the road, we're here to help. Our goal is to help everyone become a homeowner if that's what they'd like to do. We can't help everybody, but most people we can. This is Kyle Noe with First United Realty. You can always reach me easily at 405-210-5319. We love helping renters become homeowners. Doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or if you've owned a home before. If you're renting now and you're ready to own again, or just for the first time, we're here to help. Thanks for watching this brief video. Just give me a shout. I'd love to help you. Bye-bye.